Hey, what is going on? Brownwoods TCG back at it with a fourth and final banger of a video to conclude this championship series over at Top Deck Keep in Riverside, California. So again, if you guys are just tuning in, this is the fourth and final match of this tournament that I was at. We played Gecko Moria first round, Reiju second round, Gecko Moria third round, and we are in the finals against Yamato. So right off rip, 2-down turn, we play a Mad Max, bring him out, he sees the field. And yeah, so let's get it. Our opponent right here swings 8 to lead, and I am forced to take this. I didn't have two 2Ks in hand, so I take it and move on. Typically, I don't like going second against Yamato. I like going first. That way I can hit my Shiraya on curve. But unlucky for us, we are forced to go second, and we have to just make it work. So right here, I'm looking at my options. Obviously, I want one of my blockers to hit the field. I do not want to take another double hit attack. But this Mad Max is kind of hopefully deterring my opponent from summoning anything. So I swing 5, he gives me a 1K, and I tap another 1 to bring in a second Gordon, and I tap 3 for Shiraya. So right off the rip, bringing at the Gordons. Hopefully, it's enough to help me manage. You know, I know sometimes these Yamatos run Mihawk, and then sometimes they be hitting the Mihawk into Ohm into Holy combo. So he brings in the Sugar here. Sugar on play rests my Shiraya, and our opponent swings another 8K to lead. So I'm just taking a look at Sugar here. I noticed that Sugar is leader locked to Doffy for her second effect, so our opponent is only going to be able to get off the on play effect here. So anything that I summon is not going to be rested. So right here, I'm just looking at my hand. I'm thinking, damn, like, do I really want to take this double hit again? Do I even have enough to counter out? So I'm looking at my hand here. I have a Buena, 2 Beppos, I believe a Otama. So I think I can counter out of it. Let's see what I end up doing here. Next turn, I'm gonna be at 6 Dawn. I can go for a 5 cost blocker if I have that. But yeah, definitely not trying to rush this decision. This is a pretty big decision here. If I choose to take this double hit, let's see what I end up doing. I give a 2K and another 2K to go for 9. So I pitch 2 2Ks, and I keep my 2 life on board. So draw 2 Dawn, draw 1 life. I mean, not 1 life, draw 1 for my deck, which leaves me at 6 total Dawn. So 6 Dawn. Obviously, I want to start, getting on the offensive here. I swing 5 to lead. Our opponent takes this one. It is not a trigger, so lucky break. I tap 3 to bring in Zoro. I send another 5 to lead, and he gives me a 2K. Interesting. Okay. Just trying to see if I want to bring in my second Shiraya here, because I did see one in hand. I could also attach 3 onto one of my reducers. So I swing 5 with Shiraya. See, our opponent takes, and he activates Neko Mamushi. Off trigger, off life. Which is completely okay with us, right? We have two Gordons. We have 1 Gordon and 1 Max on the field. We have enough to be able to get rid of this for free almost, because they're already on the field. Just trying to see who I want to shambles in here. I am at 6 Dawn. I will be able to get off the Penguin if I bring him in, but that would be getting rid of a 2K from my hand. I activate Max on Neko Mamushi. -3 Dawn. I bring in the Shiraya first. -3 Dawn, shambles, bottom deck the Neko Mamushi. And I bring in the Penguin which in hindsight is kind of scary, right? Like, I just gave up 2Ks to block the last hit. They're in trash, and I drop another 2K from my hand to bring me back up to 6 Dawn. Or no, how much Dawn am I at? 5 Dawn. Yeah, I'm at 5 Dawn. So yeah, we built board, but I don't know. In hindsight, maybe going for Beppo is the better play here, because I keep the 2K in hand as opposed to the 1K in Beppo. Yeah, I don't get that extra ramped Dawn, but I could just get it next turn if Beppo survives, right? Our opponent doesn't really have that much removal like black decks to be able to get rid of you know, Beppo so easily if it's active. So in hindsight, maybe a Penguin is not the play there, but that's what we go for, which leaves us 2 cards in hand. Our opponent here, let's see what he ends up doing. He's just trying to see what he wants to do, calculating it out. I believe he's at 9 Dawn. I can't really see his stack. So they send 5 to Shariah. That's rested. I give a 1K. Beppo. And our opponent taps 7 to go for Rush and L. Rush and L definitely caught me off guard here, not gonna lie. I don't see a lot of Yamatos run Rush and L. And he goes 7 into Zoro, which is interesting, right? Because, you know, he just went for Shariah. Why would he go for Zoro now? Isn't Shariah the better target? Which can only mean one thing. That it means that he's necessarily not worried about Shariah. Why? Because, you know, obviously Hody Jones exists. Hody Jones rests any 2 characters. So definitely fearing that Hody Jones next play. I'm thinking I need to have 3 blockers on the field to be able to sustain, but we're in a pretty precarious situation here, I would say. I send 5 to leader here. Our opponent gives us a 2K out of hand. So when I saw this, I was thinking, okay, why did he give me a 2K? Does he not have anything else? So I sent another 5, and I'm scouting, and it gives me another 2K. So I'm thinking, okay, that's interesting. Does he not have any other 1Ks? So I tap 3 to bring in Zoro, and I swing 5K, which in hindsight probably shouldn't have done. I should have probably swung with other characters and then shambled Zoro in. So right here I send 5, and they give me a 1K. So I'm assuming that they just got this out of life, because, you know, what they would have gave a 1K last turn against, last attack against Zoro. So here I'm already kind of like in a situation where I kind of have to go all in now. I already started swinging. So I send another 5 to leader. You know, if they have counter, they're going to counter here. And they give a 2K out of hand. And I was kind of rushing it here, not gonna lie. I did anticipate the Hody Jones coming out next turn, so I kind of seen the writing on the wall. I thought, okay, if Hody's coming out next, I need to end this turn. And that's what I was going for here. I started going for game, and then I was confused when our opponent countered for 1K and then countered for 2K like right after. So it definitely threw my plan out of whack. I thought my opponent had no more 1Ks, so I guess he had gotten that out of life. So I do have a Gordon left. I do have 4 active Dawn left. So I attach 3 to Gordon and I swing 5 to life. Our opponent takes this hit. Our opponent takes this hit, which tells us one thing. He has no counter. No life, no counter. Let's see what we end up doing here. Obviously, a Rush Zoro would go crazy right here if I do have a Rush Zoro in hand. I shambles, bring in Zoro, swing 6. Which if our opponent didn't block this last Gordon 5k, he doesn't have any counter in hand unless he just drew, right? Unless he just drew a counter off that last life. So I just passed because I in fact did not have a Rush Zoro in hand. Definitely misplayed when I just, you know, brought in Zoro without having done any shambles. I could have used that 3-Don to swing a little higher with some other bodies. And then just, you know, brought Zoro in to hit that finishing blow with 6k. So our opponent double attacks here. We're forced to take it, right? And they send 7 to life here. And we counter out of that. And then they bring in the Hody. And they swing 10. And that is game right there. So unlucky game. I definitely misplayed. I rushed the ending there. Once I saw my opponent give me that first 2k out of hand, I immediately saw red, right? I was like, okay, this is the end here. I need to finish here because my opponent has a Rush Enel on the field, probably has a Rush Hody next turn. So he's either finishing me this turn, he's either finishing the game next turn, or I need to finish it this turn. So I feel like I did good in noticing that, right? I'm happy that I noticed that condition where I need to end the game now or I lose next turn. So I'm happy that I recognized that. I'm not happy with the way that I executed my plan, however. Obviously, you know, we saw right there, I was 1 hit left. Our opponent had no counter in hand at the end there. So the one play that messed me up was that Rush Zoro play. Instead of bringing him out for 3-Don, I could have attached 1-Don to one of the Shirayas, swung 6, attached 2-Don to the other Shiraya, swung 7. Right, and then yeah, just shambles him in after and attached the last active Don to him and swing 6. So unfortunate for us, we ended up losing this game. Obviously, we lost in the finals. We ended up finishing with a record of 3-1. Yamato's tough. Yamato's a tough matchup. A lot of people, you know, shit talk it. A lot of people say, oh, like it's for players who don't know how to play or whatever, like players who just want to like swing at face and stuff like that. But I don't think that at all. I think Yamato's a pretty strong deck, and if you lose to it, like a loss is a loss, right? Like you just got to get better. So I lost this match. I was talking to my opponent a little bit, telling him that I definitely have never or not played against a Rush Enel Yamato deck before. He was telling me, yeah, like I run Rush Enel, I run Rush Hody. He was saying that it catches a lot of people off guard. So funnily enough, after losing this game to Yamato, I ended up playing at another tournament and I lost another game against Yamato. And then I rematched that person like just for some friendlies after the tournament, and I lost to them 2 times again. So I definitely have some work to do to learn how to learn how to play against Yamato and beat them, obviously. After playing a good amount of Yamato games on Sim, I had my friend make a Yamato deck, and you know, I played it a bunch. I played it like 10 games in a row, switching my deck every time. I think I found some secret sauce to kind of help me combat the Yamato aggression, early aggression. So I think I may be onto something. I've had some recent success against a lot of Yamato players on Sim mostly, and I'm just waiting, you know, to get my get back. I'm waiting to get my rematch against Yamato in person with my newly revamped deck, specifically made to be able to withstand the early aggression from Yamato. So there you have it. That was that last match. Unfortunately for us, we did not win. We made it to the finals though. This was my first time at Top Deck Keep. Definitely will not be my last though. They had a really nice venue, really nice storefront, really nice shop, really cool people, really nice competition as well. And yeah, I want to thank Top Deck Keep for having us. And I want to thank you guys for watching this series. Thanks for watching and following along all 4 videos. If you haven't seen the other 3 videos of this series, you definitely should, because there were some pretty good matches. And yeah, so if you guys liked the video, please feel free to like it, comment, subscribe if you guys want to see some more content. I do have some other stuff that needs to be edited and thrown up as well from this most recent tournament that I was just at. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys as always, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Later.